yeah, there's going to be even more stuff later on this week, possibly. But
Yes.
yeah, I can't wait to get into these topics. But it's going to be a good one today. I can feel
Yeah,
it.
you know, it's funny you talk about potential news. It's already leaked, folks. And it's not that it's leaked. We already knew this was happening. We just haven't had an update in a while. Of course, I'm talking about the MetaQuest Xbox team up. They are not releasing it, surprisingly enough, on the regular MetaQuest 3. It is the S version. Now, the S version is the cheaper one. It's the newer one. It just came out, I want to say, a couple of months ago. I have requested a review unit. I don't know if that request is going to be granted. I would love to review it. Again, I use the MetaQuest 3 times a week because I do the boxing class through Supernatural Fitness. And of course, I bought a lot of games on there, including the latest Aliens one, which is incredible and scary AF, by the way. But I would love to try this. And again, it's just another avenue for Xbox to be played on other devices, and I think that it's a really big deal. Now, again, this is not breaking news. You know what? Let's get into it. We'll start off with a small topic as we kind of wait for people to file in. And over the weekend, we saw pictures of what is the Xbox MetaQuest S3. It looks sleek. It has Xbox decked out. It's green. It's black. The controllers are black. They do have Xbox looking buttons on it. Again, is everyone going to stop playing on their TVs to play this on this big virtual screen? The answer is probably not, but it is just another avenue for someone that has an Xbox or has an Xbox Game Pass account and wants to play their games on something different other than their big screen. And of course, Fuzzy Belvedere, this is VR. So let's just get this right out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Is Xbox making VR games? The answer is that's not happening, folks. And again, you know what's interesting? You know, we just saw King David over on ILP basically do what he does best and slander PlayStation. And of course, he took out his now, defunct PlayStation VR 2.0 that he spent a lot of money on. That's as good as a doorstop, ladies and gentlemen, because one of the biggest games on any VR unit is Beat Saber, and support is being pulled from Beat Saber. I believe even multiplayer will be pulled by 2026, and it's just another mind step or rake step for PlayStation. This was a unit that came out that was even more expensive than the actual PlayStation 5 at the time. And, you needed to have at least spent between $1,200 and $1,400 to get both, because you could not use the PlayStation VR at the time on PC. That eventually happened, and no one took to it. So again, atypical of Sony, they put out a very expensive unit, and no one shows up because it's too expensive, and they pull support on it. This is not the same thing. This MetaQuest version of the MetaQuest Xbox version is simply just basically a sticker over it. I don't think they're doing anything with Xbox where you're going to see maybe, I don't know, Halo in VR. That would be freaking amazing, but that's not going to happen. This is just another way for you to play your Xbox through, different avenues, through different devices. And again, it really does fall in line with the Xbox Play Anywhere. I think having a branded VR unit is going to sell some units for MetaQuest. It is the cheaper of the units. The big one, which is the S, the one that I have, is, I believe it's $399. It might even be a little bit more right now. The MetaQuest 3S is the light version of that, and it's not that it doesn't work well. It's just the lighter version of it. I didn't buy it because I already had the regular 3 version, which is fine. It works great. I use it 3 times a week. And but you know what? Let's bring Fuzzy Belvedere in here, and while we wait for people to file in, let's talk about the MetaQuest Xbox team up. Again, another way for you to play your Xbox games. And I think obviously this is something that a lot of people may actually go out and buy. And like I said, folks, I'm here to tell you that MetaQuest 3 changed my life. I have shed 20 plus pounds since starting my health journey January 14th of 2023. And it's been a godsend for me personally. But again, for Xbox, if you want to play your games in big screen mode, you can do that, and it's actually pretty cool. I've done it a couple of times. Not something I would normally do because I have a really nice TV and a very comfortable couch, so I like doing that. But let's talk about this for a second. Again, it broke over the weekend. It leaked. Images are out there. There has not been an official announcement, at least as of 12:09 today. The announcement that you're talking about may, in fact, be this later on, but let's break it down. Come on.
Oh yeah, I'm a fan of the 3. Like, I didn't get the 3S because the 3S uses kind of like the old Quest 2 lens setup. The pancake lenses that are on the 3 are a lot lighter and closer as far as the thinness of the unit, so it's a lot less weight on your face. But like in general, it's about I know it's at least $100, if not maybe a $200 savings, depending on, I guess, the drive size. Like, I think the Quest 3 that I have, when I got it, it was like $500, and I wound up trading one of my Xbox Series X's because I had 2, and I'm the only one that plays on it now. So, trading that, I think at that point, as funny as it sounds, because it was around April 20th, I got around $420 for my Series X. So it was one of those things that it made, plenty of sense to, upgrade to, well, not really upgrade, but pick up that device as well. The big picture mode that they had announced at that point was a selling feature for me. I didn't know that you could really do that with the Quest 2. Apparently that was a thing that if you kind of side loaded, you could do as well. But, I have a 55-inch LG. I'll probably get a 65-inch next time around, like when that one needs to be replaced. The 55 was like the more reasonably priced when I got it, like quite a few years ago. But having something like a 100-inch screen in front of you in your own environment, or like a gaming room environment, or you could dim it and have it where it's just blacked out and the screen's floating in front of you, is a pretty cool experience. It's not VR, but it is like having some of these AR glasses where you are basically getting this larger screen in front of you without having to have it actually in your house, kind of thing. But I like the device. I suck at Beat Saber, so the Beat Saber thing is not my jam. But I do play quite a bit of the zombie games. There's like a 1 and 2.
Oh, there's a couple of them. Yes.
Yeah, you have the dog you could stick after the zombies or get keys and things like that, and that's pretty cool. Like the weapons and the reloading and all that stuff. Also, the Batman game that came with it when I got it is an awesome game. But right now they have Deadpool VR, which is actually their new must-have app that you can pre-order now. I think it's coming out fairly soon, but I hadn't picked up the Aliens one. I probably will at some point, but just the fact that you can play your Xbox games on there via the xCloud streaming or Xbox streaming stuff, and now that they're adding games that you own into that streaming aspect of it. So if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you're playing Game Pass games on there, as well as some of the games you own that you can stream through it as well. It's awesome. Like and other things like watching YouTube 360 videos or some movies in that regard on that device is awesome. But the key thing, like the reason why I picked the 3 as opposed to PSVR 2, I was waiting for Sony to go ahead and throw GT7 on PC. I already have it on the PS5.
Yep.
That's the only app that I would play on PSVR 2 on my PlayStation. But if they put GT7 over there on PC and the potential to do like a Steam Link, which, by the way, the Quest devices can. So if you have a fairly decent PC, you can actually upgrade the visuals on that Quest and play it like a true high-end VR headset with most of the power is falling on your video card and your PC. But all of that to say, the visuals on the device, self-contained without a console involved, are pretty decent. Like they're, I would say, on par, close to like PS4 and Xbox One level graphics in a lot of cases. It's not going to be, Xbox One X level or PS4 Pro level, but it is pretty cool. And the visuals aren't as, I guess, necessity when it's in that environment. Like the immersion aspect is what really draws you in. But if they are having this version of like Steam Link on this Xbox version, and maybe it connects to the Xbox, and maybe we see down the road, like what you can on PC right now, Flight Sim, there are mods out there to do an actual VR version of Flight Sim. And there's like a supported mod on the old Flight Sim. And I think there's not the supported one just yet, but a mod out there for the Flight Sim 2024 to do that same thing. If we could see it on something like Halo or any of the Forzas, I think that would be a pretty cool step up. But I know there's a lot of people like, oh, well, Xbox guys were against VR. Now they're for VR. I never really was on either fence as far as for or against it. I figured I'm going to wait until there's enough games on a VR set that I'm looking forward to before I hop in. And being able to play my Xbox games in big picture mode, plus some of the zombie games that you can get through the Meta Store, the Batman game that you can get through the Meta Store, as well as the Deadpool game. Well, that came later, but at that time, that was enough for me to hop on board. And there's a pretty cool motorcycle racing game. The auto racing games on it just yet aren't quite up to Forza level, but if they ever do get to that point, or if there is a VR mod for Forza, whether it be Horizon or even Motorsport, I think that would determine how good this Quest, not really merger, but like this partnership is. And I think for all of those that said Phil lied about VR, they were basically waiting on Facebook/Meta to get their act together on that partnership, because that was the talks way back when they announced that they were going to do VR, and Meta changing the name from Oculus to Meta, and some of the things that they were having backlash on for having to have a Facebook account to be able to merge it. But now you can use your Instagram account or other means to be able to get this device to link, or at least have an account set up. They've come a long way, and now it's more sensible for that partnership, because I think we're to that point where we will see some VR mods on some of their first player or first party titles. But who knows? I'm not saying that's a have to have, but this is definitely a cool merger, or not, I keep saying merger, but cool partnership for playing your existing games or playing some of the ones on the Quest. I say it's well worth it. And if you have a PC, doing the Steam Link makes it an even, better value, because for $500 versus the Valve $1,000 headset, I think the extra money saved can go to other, gaming accessories, or just back in your pocket, basically, considering what the cost of things might be these days. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that announcement. But I'm pretty happy with the three I have. But I think you're getting an Xbox controller, which the controllers that come with these VR sets are pretty cool. But if you're getting a new Xbox controller with it for like when you're doing the big picture mode, I think that's a worthwhile, added throw in if they wind up doing that as well. So let's see what that announcement, or when that announcement's made.